I was taught French in school for 13 years and could not speak it when I graduated. I understood it, but what French taught me was that English has no rules. You know, French has very strict rules, not as strict as say German, but it has rules and it follows the rules. English has a bunch of rules and it then throws them away, you know, most of the time. So I found I thought English was pretty simple and straightforward until I started learning other languages and realized what like Spanish is basically almost phonetic, and Russian is completely phonetic, and English is anything but phonetic. English is a big middle finger to people who think languages should be phonetic. You know,
There is a reason for that. Someone explained to me, one of my students, England was invaded by at least 6 other countries, and all
oh
this push, top down, Vikings, French, you know, the Danish, you know, just all these different, and the people that already lived there, and then language changed over time. It is a mess.
oh
You
yeah,
just
no,
have,
English is a patchwork of different languages, and basically it's a language that was thrown together so that different cultures could try and speak to each other. But as a result, rules were created and then abandoned repeatedly. And,
yeah, yeah, that's true.
so you get cough, rough,
Oh,
through, and you know the same letters, but let's pronounce them differently this time because why
there's
not?
10 different ways to pronounce OUGH.
I now think I was very fortunate to be born speaking this language because if I had to learn it,
Yes.
I would shoot myself. You know, it would, it would just be it'd be really difficult. So Abdul, you get crazy amounts of respect from me for actually learning this language because it is not. It was never built to be learned. It was it was an experiment of a language. You know, it's crazy.
Oh, yeah, like
Uh,
contract. You can have a word that's a noun, contract, but contract, if the accent's on the second syllable, it becomes a verb. There's a whole bunch of those.
oh yeah, but if you go into Chinese, where the stress
Yeah,
sits, or how you know whether you
the tones and all
swoop it
that.
up or down, you can have very different words. In Spanish, if you roll your R or you don't roll your R, you get different words.
Hmm.
It's you know we look at that and when we realize that we do it too, we're shocked, but we do. You know, if I put the stress on the wrong part of the word on a regular basis, you won't understand a word I'm saying. We depend on it also. We just don't realize it.
I think maybe just quickly when we're talking about learner perception of difficulty of the language, right? Yeah. For pronunciation, I think they do find it difficult. And there's this whole issue of pronunciation versus spelling, like the writing system, how everything is represented,
Yeah.
the pronunciation. But I do, I do want to make the point that when I talk to students about the difficulty of English, the first thing they say is it's not very difficult because they're thinking in terms of grammar. And compared to the verb conjugation of Spanish or Portuguese or Russian, it's actually very simple.
If you're okay making mistakes and speaking in the present tense, you can do a lot. You know, it gets a little more complicated in cases where you want to talk about, you know, past or future events and only use the present. But you can get along. You can find your way around the city. You can, you know, without getting too complicated. It's a quick language to pick up and start using, even though you're going to do a lot of damage. But yeah, I agree with you in that sense. You don't have to learn a lot of rules before you can start using it.
And we don't have 300 endings like Russian does for its nouns. That is a nightmare. And we say go or do or make, and they have about 27 different verbs, you know, for R3. It's complicated.
Yeah, but they don't have articles. They don't have, you know, the this or a chair. They just say chair. You know, I mean, there's and articles are a real nuisance, and there's a bunch of things in English that I've discovered are a real pain for a lot of people. Abdul, what's the worst part of English for you?
To me, the worst part of English is the pronunciation, I think, also. And it's very hard to me to pronounce rightly the English words.
I know that for Russian speakers, the word song, like music, song, is hard because ng is not a sound.
NG is absolutely terrible for Russian speakers. It's almost impossible to pronounce it. I can't twist my tongue to say it correctly at all.
Yeah, TH is also a tough one.
TH is much better. At least it's understandable what you should do with the tongue and the mouth and teeth. But I still don't know how to deal with ng sound.
Yeah, th is really rough for French speakers. They have a lot of trouble with it, and you can show it to them and show it to them and show it to them, and they still struggle with it. It's just not. It's a very unnatural sound for them. I don't know.
Learners of basically all languages, because that sound spelled th. English is basically the only major language that has that sound. There are maybe, other languages, very minority languages that also have it, like that no one's ever heard of. English is the only major language that has it.
Yeah, same thing with ng, and ng is such a natural thing for me to do, and so I always worry about the accented letters in French. I have trouble with. I don't even hear the difference when a French speaker is using them. I've even asked them, speak it slowly, and just cannot tell the difference. But I know that Russian speakers, if the difference between the word bad and bed, they have trouble with. And I hear that very clearly. English is just too natural to me, so I don't even realize that is a problem.